The ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity as ancient in the preamble of the Constitution of India have been taken from the French Revolution in 1789. The idea of directive principles of state policy in the Constitution of India has been borrowed from the Irish Constitution. And friends, liberty, equality, fraternity, and republic system has been borrowed from French Constitution. Procedure established by law has been borrowed from Japanese Constitution. Which article of the Constitution defines the term state in the Indian context? Article 12. And friends, Article 18 deals with abolition of titles. Article 21 deals with protection of life and personal liberty. And Article 20 deals with protection in respect of conviction of offences. Whose remarks are these? The preamble is the horoscope of our sovereign democratic republic. K.M. Munshi. The right to property was deleted from the list of fundamental rights by 44th Amendment Act of 1978. And friends, fundamental duties and three new words socialist, secular and integrity was added in the preamble of the Constitution by 42nd Amendment Act of 1976. The restoration of the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court and High Courts in respect of judicial review and issue of writs by 43rd Amendment Act of 1977 and 52nd Amendment Act of 1985 provided for disqualification of members of parliament and state legislatures on the ground of defection. The only state in the Indian Union which used to have its own separate state constitution was Jammu and Kashmir. A person to be eligible for election as President of India should have completed 35 years of age. And friends, to eligible to become a President of India, you should have a citizen of India. You should have completed 35 years of age, qualified for election as a member of Lok Sabha, and should not hold any office of profit. The state which is neutral in matter of religion and does not uphold any particular religion as the state religion is called secular state. Which article authorizes the parliament to form a new state by separation of territory from any state? Article 3. And friends, Article 14 deals with equality before the law and equal protection of law. Article 23 deals with prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor. And Article 34 deals with restriction on fundamental rights while martial law in force in any area. Which article declares that all laws that are inconsistent with or in derogation of any of the fundamental rights shall be void? Article 13. And friends, Article 16 deals with equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. Article 19 deals with protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech. And Article 21A deals with right to education. Which Act provides for the disqualification of members of Parliament and state legislature for indulging in corrupt practices? The Representation of People Act 1951. The procedure for the amendment of the Constitution is laid down in Article 368. And friends, Article 300A deals with right to property, Article 312 deals with All India Services, and Article 315 deals with Public Service Commission for the Union or for the state. How many times has the preamble to the Constitution of India been amended? 1. Friends, the preamble of the Constitution has been amended by 42nd Amendment Act of 1976, which added 3 new words: socialist, secular and integrity. The Union Executive consists of all of the above: the President and the Council of Ministers, the Prime Minister and the Attorney General of India. The duties of Chief Minister of a state with regard to furnishing of information to the Governor is enshrined in Article 167. And friends, Article 170 deals with composition of the Legislative Assemblies. Article 171 deals with composition of the Legislative Council, and Article 172 deals with the duration of state legislature. In which of the following years Panchayat Raj system was introduced? 1959. Which article of Constitution declares that the Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to State Legislative Assembly? Article 164. And friends, Article 163 deals with Council of Ministers to aid and advise Governor. Article 168 deals with Constitution of Legislatures in states, and Article 169 deals with abolition or creation of legislative councils in states. Which schedule of the Constitution of India deals with powers, authority and responsibilities of municipalities? 12th schedule. And friends, 5th schedule deals with administration of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. 7th schedule deals with union, state and concurrent list, and 11th schedule deals with panchayats. The provisions of financial emergency have been laid down in Article 360. And friends, Article 352 deals with national emergency and Article 356 deals with state emergency. The Linguistic Provinces Commission, appointed under the chairmanship of S.K. Dhar in 1948, recommended the reorganization of states on the basis of administrative convenience rather than linguistic factor.